Hello everybody, today's tale is quite a gruesome one, so if you're squeamish, you've been warned. It was actually written in German and translated into English, so no, you're not having a stroke. Anyway, let's jump into today's tale. In one of our 5 stores where role-playing games and TCGs are played, a one-shot was offered on its official Discord server with level 3 characters and 1 common magic item. I actually still had a level 3 Vulpine Blood Hunter left, which I always played in another one-shot. It's a dungeon master who offers 1 hero guild one-shot every 3 months, so the characters usually all know each other. The dungeon master also knew me from the mentioned hero guild and agreed to my blood hunter, despite the fact that he already had a magic 1+ longsword, which has space for some magic crystals. I also took a muscle amulet as a common magic item. At the beginning, the story was relatively harmless. It was more like a guild mission, only with a different dungeon master this time. We were supposed to go to a count who was making a party for his marrying daughter and protect him, basically acting as his bodyguards. The group was as follows: Vulpine Lycanthrope Blood Hunter, me. Goliath Berserker Barbarian, Asamar Life Cleric, High Elf Champion Fighter. What I didn't know, the DM didn't check beforehand to see if there were any beginners in the group, and didn't make it clear how experienced the players should be. I was the only veteran among 3 beginners. Normally, that's not a problem for me. I've often played with beginners and DM'd games for beginners, but the real problems were 1, the plot itself, which I didn't like, and you'll find out why in a moment. 2, stupid decisions the group made. On the way, we found a goblin camp, but somehow everyone wanted to ignore it, and I thought to myself, we are 4 level 3 characters, and I myself play a very strong class. They're just goblins. In my opinion, I treat TTRPGs kind of like an open world. Just because something's there doesn't mean it needs to be explored, and if there's something plot relevant in that area, I'm sure the DM would kind of guide them that way somehow. I know people don't like railroading, sometimes it's necessary. The butler then took us to the Count, and the plot twist, Count is already dead. He died of a heart attack. The actual plot was supposed to be this: we were to pretend that the Count was still alive. Basically, the perfect plot for a changeling. I was pretty disappointed because I was hoping for an attack so that we would have to protect the Count, because a blood hunter is designed for combat and a bit of alchemy. In general, we had 3 classes focused on fighting and 1 healer who couldn't use Revivify at 3. At first, we tried to wake up the Count before we found out he was dead, whether it was by splashing water on his face, slapping him, or shaking him. There were quite a few possible solutions, but it felt like everyone was just looking at me. Stupid idea was simply a move from the cartoon drawn together. As a blood hunter, I was supposed to skin him and then peel off his skin, which sounded like a radical solution, but also didn't make any sense because I am a Vulpine and not a human. For context, in Drawn Together, one of the characters ends up wearing someone as a skin suit. Anyway, spells like command, etc. forced my character to do it. I explained that this wasn't possible because the command spell can only contain 1 word, although some dungeon masters are willing to turn a blind eye and allow 2 or 3 words, especially since German is a rather complicated language. Besides, that is the needed spell for that: dominate person. In the end, it somehow worked out, because DM said so, but I wasn't too thrilled about it, and my blood hunter was forced to skin him, causing the butler who came in to faint, which distracted my character so much that I had to make a dex save, which for Vulpine is dex plus intelligence and possibly proficiency bonus. Nat 1, I cut off half his face. The Goliath then had the brilliant idea of shaking the butler awake. The Goliath. Strength roll, nat 20, butler dead. Long story short, the plan went wrong. The daughter recognized me and we had to kill 4 guards and then run away. And to top it all off, the characters blamed my character for their crimes. At the end of the story, my character was arrested in a pub because that damn daughter remembered my bloodhunter's face, but I was able to escape with a stealth roll of 19, and now my bloodhunter has to live in fear because of such a stupid one-shot. I talked to the old guild dungeon master and we agreed that the whole thing is non-canon, but I think even if the story had gone normally, I wouldn't have enjoyed it. I just want to fight, and this plot was just too boring for me. What did I learn from this? Better to ask beforehand what kind of players are involved if they are already known, because too much went wrong and was played out incorrectly. See command spell. See, I told you that was gruesome. As a DM, I'm not a massive fan of letting your players force another player into doing something they don't want to do. Kind of where you gotta sit back, you gotta get out of the game and talk to everyone and say, hey, are you comfortable with this if this happens to your character? Even if like the character doesn't want it to happen to them, as long as the player is okay with it, then it's fine. Just straight up not giving the player any kind of choice about what happens to their character in this instance. Yeah, no, I don't like it. What do you guys think of this tale? Have you had experiences like this at all? Let me know down in the comments, and thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.